It's a concept I want to talk about, right? And it's the concept of I will. The word I will, right? And I thought about this a long time ago. Why don't people usually just declare what they're going to do? Like, I'm going to do this today, or I'm going to make this happen. What do you think that is?
I think it's a lack of self-confidence.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I knew you was going to get it.
Because we was in the meeting today. We was helping a friend of ours build an app, and he was talking about, because this is something I used to struggle with, you know what I'm saying? And now I've come to hold with it because I'm super confident about it, you know what I'm saying? But like, he said, he asked us, he was like, yo, do you think when the app does start to blowing up, because it was an amazing app idea, he said, do you think when the app does start to blow up, like, I should like hire somebody like to go do meetings and stuff like this for me? Because like, look at me, bro, like, I don't think people will take me serious. I was like, fuck that. Yeah. Fuck that. Yeah. You're the main reason. That's gonna be the reason why people do business with you. And he's like, and I made it seem like he was talking down on himself, but he was basically, I believe it was a situation. It was just like a situation like that. And I was basically saying, like you told him, it's like, yo, people are like, that's not what this is about. It's not, we're living in different times now. It's like, yo, of course the reality is that shit does still go on. People still do judge you by the color of your skin, but don't let that be the reason why you don't go see.
Of course, you know of course it happens, but I say at the same time, it's one of those situations where there's also people who don't.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's also people who just,
equal amount of people.
They only understand one thing. Here, right? Yeah. I see that color, they understand that. And I feel like a big thing is just your perception and your persona a lot of times nowadays is why people come to you, right? Exactly. Like, why do you go to a rapper to ask him about style? It's not because you see him in a suit. Yeah. You like, oh, he knows what's hip. I'm going to consult him about how to touch this demographic. Yeah. Right? And I think that's a big thing. And going back to the self-confidence, the reason I said I will, I wrote a post a long time ago, right? And I said what I thought the word I will meant. Now, one of my favorite books of all time is An Iron Will by Horizon Sweat Martin. It's my favorite book of all time. I've read maybe thousands of books at this point. Yeah. But still, this one never has been defeated in my mind. And it's not a book like teaching you any tips or strategies, just talking about the type of personality that the most successful people in history were, like, you know, like the Abraham Lincolns, your Napoleons, like all these top level people. And it's an old book, so it doesn't have any modern people in there. But the thing is, they said, I will. They said it's such a strong phrase because it speaks of you determination. Yeah. Of like, I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm going to do this shit. Like, no matter what. And I realize a lot of times when I'm sitting in meetings with people, we'll sit there and we'll go back and forth with them and they're like, okay, yeah. They're trying to almost, they're not setting a plan and then saying, I'm going to do whatever to figure it out. Yeah. They're trying to set the plan based on what might go wrong. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's like you're planning for the worst at this point. Exactly. Yeah. So if I go, hey, look, we gonna shoot on Saturday. It's almost like, okay, I'm gonna set the plan. And if stuff goes wrong, my whole idea is that I'm gonna go towards that plan. Saturday, this shit is happening. Yeah. So no matter what happened in between, this shit is happening. Yeah, on Saturday. And I feel like it's the same thing with the pandemic. A lot of people are like, how do you start adapting to the pandemic? The first thing I always like to talk about is mentality. Yeah. So if you take the mentality of, okay, the pandemic has happened. Yeah. Well, what do I do now? Everything's closed down. Everything's messed up. What do I do now? You're not taking that mindset of what you will do. I didn't say I was going to start a business if things was good. I didn't say I was going to start a business if things was bad. I said, I'm going to start a business. Yeah. I will. That's what I will do. I will. So if pandemic, no matter what demic, I'm starting. Up market, down market, bull, bear, whatever you, investment, Forex, and whatever. If you think about who's on top right now, is those people who made that decision well before this situation even occurred. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you think about that, it's like that type of mindset puts you, like, think about it. That type of mindset right there literally has put people ahead of the game. Like, some people financially did not get affected during the pandemic. Yes. I need you to understand that. Like, a lot of people, some people really didn't. Yeah. Some people did. That's why at the beginning of this episode, I said, it's like it lifted up the skirt of everything. It was like just like wind, a wind blew and you could see who had drawers on or not. It was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's like essentially what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Mama's house, 2 penthouse, yeah.